Welcome to this deep dive. Today's breakdown is brought to you by Dr. Christophe Delong and Conexa Formation, and let me tell you, we are about to go on an absolutely fascinating journey. We're going to bridge two worlds that, well, at first glance, they might seem totally disconnected, but right now, they are converging in a way that is literally mind-blowing. On one side, we have over 4 decades of pure human medical expertise, focused completely on movement and rehabilitation, and on the other, the absolute bleeding edge of technology, robotics powered by artificial intelligence. This is the story of humanity taking back mobility, and it is going to be captivating.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. First, a life for autonomy. Second, sports, health, and prevention. Third, the exoskeleton revolution. Fourth, Atalante X for clinical rehab. Fifth, Eve for personal mobility. And finally, the future of industry and AI. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. A Life for Autonomy, the foundational expertise of Dr. Delong.
So, before we can even begin to understand how machines can help humans, we really have to understand the human body itself. And Dr. Christophe Delong is a specialist in physical medicine and rehabilitation whose journey is just exemplary. His entire mission to restore independence for patients whose lives have been turned upside down, that is the whole foundation of our analysis today. I mean, his career literally spans every single stage of human life. Back in 1995, he revamped an entire pediatric orthopedic rehab unit at St. Maurice Hospital. Then in 2000, he shifted to adult rehab at Corentin-Selten, and by 2005, he was heading up geriatric rehabilitation for the public hospital system in Paris. From a growing child to a senior citizen wanting to stay independent, he's got this incredibly comprehensive, intimate understanding of what it means to lose and regain mobility.
And all of that massive experience really boils down to one core philosophy. He sees himself as the bridge between the hospital and the home. And that is an absolutely vital concept. Transitioning back home after being in the hospital, it's tough. It's a critical period filled with huge physical and psychological hurdles. Making a patient autonomous again isn't just about fixing the mechanics of the body. It's about guiding them so they can step back into their daily life with real confidence.
Moving on to Section 2. Sports, Health, and Prevention. Shattering medical myths.
Now, Dr. Delong doesn't just stop at the hospital doors. He spent a huge chunk of his career translating complex clinical knowledge for the general public, and he tackles common medical myths head-on with so much energy. For instance, no, playing sports doesn't automatically make you lose weight. And nope, running isn't universally the best sport for everyone. Do you think you inherited your bad back from your parents? Or maybe that it's all just caused by stress? Well, nope, and he brings the actual science to prove it. And here's a big one. If a kid complains of back pain, you absolutely must take it seriously. His whole approach is super pragmatic. Better information means better protection.
And this brilliantly illustrates how he connects strict, traditional medicine with everyday accessible solutions. Take osteoarthritis, for example. Heavy medications can sometimes be a real letdown, right? Well, he actually recommends properly dosed turmeric as a natural alternative. When you take it consistently over time, like 6 months or more, it acts as a natural antioxidant, painkiller, and anti-inflammatory. It's just the perfect example of medicine adapting to real life.
So we've set the stage. We understand the vital needs of rehab and the intense drive for autonomy championed by empathetic doctors like Dr. Delong. But what happens when that profound human empathy collides with the bleeding edge of engineering and artificial intelligence? This is where our story shifts to a future that is quite literally being built right now. How exactly can technology redefine rehabilitation?
Section 3. The Exoskeleton Revolution. AI at the service of humanity.
Let's step into this new era with a company called Wandercraft. Founded in 2012, these guys built their entire mission on a flat-out refusal. They just refused to accept that a wheelchair was the final answer for people who can't walk. And the origin of this incredible tech? It's deeply rooted in human empathy. The founders had family members dealing with Charcot-Marie tooth disease, which slowly destroys mobility. But the real spark? It was Jean-Louis Constanza's 5-year-old son. When the little boy got his first wheelchair, he looked at his dad and said, "Dad, you're an engineer. Why don't you build me a robot to help me walk?" I mean, wow. That pure, simple request from a child is what triggered everything.
And the answer to that little boy's question is this absolute game changer of a concept, the self-stabilizing exoskeleton. I want you to pay close attention to the phrase hands-free. This isn't just a pair of robotic crutches. It is a bipedal robot that constantly calculates its own balance. This technological leap is monumental because freeing up the hands, that frees up the user's cognitive engagement. It means they can actually interact with the world around them instead of constantly fighting just to stay upright.
Section 4. Atalante X, and clinical rehabilitation, bringing innovation into the hospital.
Now, going back into the hospital setting, exactly the kind of neuro and geriatric rehab centers Dr. Delong used to run, what's really interesting here is this staggering number, 1 million. That is the number of steps Wandercraft exoskeletons take every single month around the world. And that's not just some fun trivia, that is a massive stream of data. Every single step trains their proprietary neural network. The AI is literally learning the immense complexity of actual human movement to make these devices smoother and safer every single day.
In a clinical setting, the impact is just night and day. The Atalante X, which is already FDA cleared and CE marked, is operating in over 100 hospitals right now. It is a massive time saver for therapists because it seriously boosts the number of steps a patient can practice, all while keeping the session totally safe for folks recovering from strokes or spinal cord injuries. It's basically intensive rehab cranked up to the absolute max.
Section 5. Eve and personal mobility. Everyday autonomy.
Remember Dr. Delong's ultimate goal? That bridge to the home? Well, Wandercraft has the exact same vision for giving people back their daily autonomy. On one hand, you have the Atalante X, this incredible therapeutic tool used in clinics to help the body relearn how to move. But then, on the other hand, you have the original dream finally coming true with Eve. Eve is a personal, lighter exoskeleton designed to straight up replace the wheelchair. Imagine being able to stand up in your own kitchen, grab something off a high shelf, or just go for a walk downtown. It is the return of pure, simple independence.
And the global response to Eve has been nothing short of spectacular. It snagged an innovation award at SXW in Texas for its AI. It was hailed as a massive breakthrough at CES in Vegas. But the image that will really stick with us, it's Kevin Piet, a paraplegic athlete, walking proudly with the Olympic torch using this exact exoskeleton. That was a world first that moved the entire planet. It's hard proof that what we thought were hard limits, they're being shattered.
Section 6. The future of industry and AI. From healthcare to the factory floor.
Let's move to the future of industry and AI and see how this builds. Because, when you have technology this powerful, tech that understands human biomechanics this intimately, you just can't keep it confined to medicine. Let's zoom out a bit. Wandercraft's progress here is blazing fast. By taking all that knowledge they built up from medical AI, they pulled off something wild. They built a brand new humanoid robot prototype, the Calvin 40, in just 40 days. Why? To partner up with giants like Renault Group. The goal here is to use these robots to handle the heaviest, most grueling factory tasks. It's all about protecting workers' health and preventing those awful musculoskeletal disorders that doctors like Dr. Delong have spent their careers treating.
So, the really crucial point here is that Wandercraft isn't just making a single product. They are building an entire ecosystem aimed at protecting and restoring the human body. You've got Atalante X fixing things in the clinic, Eve helping people live independently at home, and the Calvin line stepping in to protect workers on the front lines before they even get hurt. It's this perfect loop of prevention and rehabilitation, all powered by robotics.
And that brings us to the end of this breakdown. Looking back at this journey, from rehab centers run with deep empathy by doctors like Dr. Delong, all the way to neural networks dynamically balancing the exoskeletons of tomorrow, it's just a breathtaking trajectory. Technology isn't replacing human medicine, it's amplifying it to create literal mechanical miracles. So if today we can empower paraplegic individuals to walk hands-free and bring AI to heavy industry, as embedded AI continues to bridge human medical expertise in robotics, what is the next impossible human limit we're going to overcome? Keep that question in mind and keep exploring. See you next time.